now I'm actually recording on my source computer, having the audio so I don't have to wait for the Zoom recording from the cloud system to come back. It's really cool. So I'll be probably recording more this way, and this is just a really interesting way to have subtitles made using Zoom already generated in the system, and it's just such a powerful thing here. All right, I think I'm back in business. So here's my, just so you can see my OBS recording my thing, and yeah, I didn't get to save my changes. Oh well, that's fine. We'll just make another MoGraph. It doesn't take long. Just watch out for moving around this menu. This is early access, so things are prone to happen. So in this part, I'll show you something even cooler, because with, let's have a look here. Because with let's just switch back to the default viewport. Because with the arrival of the new Unreal Engine 5.4, there is the SVG Actor, right? And there are websites that you can just visit. Let's have a look quickly. Free SVG logos, and I think there was a website called reshoot.com that has really nice icons that are SVG ready. And SVG is like the primary format for vector graphics. And now, say you need some kind of, let's say, like. Let's look for like a like icon. I think things that will work will be stuff like this that are filled up. We can try this one. Let's have a look at this one. We'll use this one for just the first trial. So you just grab any SVG file, right? Go into your content browser. Just move this here for now. Just make a new folder, call it SVG. Oh, do I have? Okay, I have a folder called SVG. And drag and drop the SVG into your Unreal Engine project. Save it. And now if I drag it out, you should be able to see our little icon, and our scale is a bit off, so let's do 100. And here we go, that's our icon. And let's have a look here where we can play around here with the settings. So you can change how much it extrudes, right? Let's do 0.2. You can do some shape offset. Not sure what this is doing right now. Bevel, which is nice. Can smooth the fill, and yep, that's all that is to this. And let's have a look here at material. So you can do to render mode either 2D or 3D. Is 2D working? Hello? Back to 3D. 3D should actually have a shadow, so you may be wondering, why is that the shadow working? And I think the idea here is that it has to be converted into a actual static mesh, although I'm not 100% sure. This should work maybe in 2D mode. Okay, it's two-sided. And let's have a look here in the 2D mode. SVG cast shadow. But I think it has to be 3D. That would make sense, right? Go back to 3D. Yes, so now that fixes. So remember, in order for your 3D objects to have a shadow, right? You need to have that. Okay, so that's pretty cool. This is a pretty simple SVG. Bake the blueprint, reset and split. So how do materials work? Well, let's grab a material. Let's grab an automotive material. Something nice. Let's have a look at emissives, maybe. Turn on lights. So materials should just work with a drag and drop operation. So if I want this to be a glass, does the glass work? Yeah, it works. So now I have a big glass. You can see the UVs here. Glass shader shows how it's done, kind of. So you can see that not every SVG will be perfect. Just that will be just downloaded from the internet. Let's have a look at car paint. All right, that looks nice. Let's do this one. Nice. So you can see how quality this material is, just because how well these materials are set up here, and you can have a beautiful vector graphic working here in Unreal, which is very, very cool indeed. As you can see, it's reflective and everything. Let's bring our crazy ball of craziness inside here. So you should see that this is all nicely reflecting in real time in Lumen. It is unbelievable. So yep, that pretty no. All right, I need to change this now to likes. So if I would like to add these likes into the system, right, I would essentially just grab this like button now, which this is SVGs, and just drag it into the cloner, and that will create a whole bunch of likes, swimming around with other things. Yes, let me just do the count to 100 so we at least see the likes, because there's too many of them. Maybe even 50. And they're audio reactive, which is super cool, right? Point light here in the middle. So there you go. That concludes our setup. But I can maybe try to recreate it just from scratch, so you know exactly how it works. But that's kind of the gist of it. So let's just save everything. And also, yeah, these animations here, these guys here, I think if I start simulating, they should be playing back the animation that I've just mentioned from Animatrix, and just playing back retargeted to a mannequin skeleton using the 5.4 retargeting system. And as you can see, it works really, really well, and the characters just nicely translate all the motion, and having this crazy motion graphics just makes this a lot of fun, right, to play with. So I encourage you to play around with the motion graphics system and the new retargeting system in Unreal 5.4. It's truly I would say a game changer. Let's just do a new level. We'll start with, I like to do basic, just because I'm used to it. And we'll try to, if Unreal will allow me, to just recreate this scene. Awesome. So just turn down the lights, because I don't like to burn out my eyeballs. And we'll just go to the motion design. And yeah, we can press this button here, which does a bit more, because it opens sequencer, pops you into the window here. I like to go back into the default viewport, just because I'm used to it. And let's just add some kind of weirdness here. Let's do a rectangle. So you can just drag and drag the objects here, and then, you know, fly up to them normally using WSAD. There's some also control points here that get spawned here with the modifiers. Have a look here. So there's the slant here, right slant. So you can slant something. Global bevel size. This is just a basic, you know, flat 2D object here from 2D shapes. So I'll just try to do a quick overview of the stuff here that, you know, Epic provides us here. We have a nice arrow, very customizable. I think you can do probably every possible arrow. You can also change the materials here. You can also use asset materials, which is cool, and have that going in 2D shapes. So you don't need to have like a 3D shape. So let's just do a star. So you can just, you know, if you hold down Shift, it will keep the scaling of it. Well, I'm wondering what these buttons are here. Interesting. I can't press them. So let's add some modifiers here. So there's also create static mesh here from this, which is interesting. Let's try to just create a static mesh here. So we created a static mesh, but the static mesh traveled into meshes. So if I go into meshes, I should have my star here as a mesh. And you can see the interesting thing here. A mesh is treated much differently than this object, even though this one also casts shadows. Oh, actually they look identical. But this is a mesh, so you can export this into, you know, any 3D software and play around with it there, right? Which is pretty cool. So we have that. We have the meshes. Let's have a look here what modifiers we can add. So there's a line, auto follow, auto size, auto grid arrange, if I look at radial arrange, let's have a look at radial arrange. And so if I bump up the count of rings, no. I fell into a burning ring of fire. No. It goes down, down, down. And the brains went higher. Burns, burns, burns. Let's have a look at auto size. What? Oh, there's so much stuff here. So much stuff to go through. So these are modifiers and animators. So animators should be much easier. If you do just an animator like oscillate and location YZ, this is probably the most stuff that people will actually be using, and you can keyframe this. So what do we have? Sine, cosine, inverted square, sawtooth. So different oscillation points for this, and this is just doing Y and Z, right? And you can play around with this. You can just quickly add these animators. This is where you can get the sound wave that you saw in the previous example. You just add this sound wave, and you can do location, you know, anything. So let's do bounce. See what bounce does. Bounce is pretty cool, right? Because you can invert this effect. So you can have it come in, come out, slow it down. Oh, this is the frequency. So these are animators, and you can stack these, so you can have like a pulse, you know, rotation. Okay, pulse rotation seems not to be comprende for now. Oh, this is pretty cool. Look at. So you can set references to a container, right? And wait, and so I can reference an actor. Let's say this star, and now this star should be looking at this star. Oh, that's pretty cool. And no constraints, right? So this is just done with this modifier look at, and that's awesome, right? Because all of this still sits kind of procedurally, so you can animate completely organically, having that, you know, all these systems, right? Stack. I want to do pattern. That's what I was looking for. So now I have 4 stars, and line. I can do grid, cool, or a circle, and so here we go. So I can do 50. Now I have 50 stars looking at this this one point, and this is so cool for motion graphics because you can just set this up and start playing with it. So pattern, you can do a grid. Let's do a 50 by 50 grid of stars. 50 by 50. So great for creating like, you know, walls or ceilings. So now if we have the modifiers here, so we have look at, and we can trigger these, right? So we can turn it off and on, and it will start looking at, I think they're all looking at this one star now. Ooh, awesome, right? And what else do we have here? So we have pattern. I can extrude them. Oh, so you can do, so it's 2D, 3D, doesn't really matter, right? Because all of these can be just extruded here, and you get centimeters. Interesting. So let's do like 4 centimeters, so they actually have a thickness, which is awesome. And what else do we have here? So there's material, subdivide, taper, boolean. I can bend everything. Let's have a look at the bend. So bend will just, all right. Then bend will just bend the whole thing. And so now let's have a look at animators. So if we have animators, and let's do pulse. Rotation, because now they should be no, doesn't want it, doesn't like it, doesn't want it. What if we add just a wiggle for location? Interesting. Do I need oh, should be moved above layout modifiers. So okay, can move these around. Okay, I did it. I did what it told me to do. Hey, this is cool. And this property should be so there's a giant star system now. Just 5 degrees. If I do 1 degree, okay, I get it now. So it does this like awesome parametric thing here. And what if I animate this property? Oh, this is the remote control preset. I need to get into that remote control stuff. Here we go. Wait. So you can enable any property. Essentially, what this does is you can enable any property and have it accessible here. So say you'd like the director to only have, or anybody working on an Unreal project with you, only have access only to a few of the features. You can change, you can just expose them, and it works exactly as you would change them here. You can just keep them kind of organized, which is nice. Nice thing, nice touch, that you can do that. Now, what if because this is all just one object right now that's being created, not even without using the cloner. It's just using this motion design, right? And I think, what if I create a, say I did all these changes now, and what I'd like to is to create a new mesh, or does that only work from here? Okay, so that only works from here, so I can create it from here. Subdivide, look, so all these modifiers get stacked here, right? So it's extruding, subdividing, doing look at, adding the remote controller and sequence here. That's, so you kind of have everything under one stack here. That's pretty cool. So essentially, so this is the mesh. Let's do static mesh array. And there you go. We have a static mesh here. Oh, that's so cool. Of this same, you know, so this is unchangeable, right? You can't change anything about it because it's a static mesh, but you can do a whole bunch of other things to static meshes. While here you have still the parametric version, and that's so brilliant. So that opens a whole bunch of possibilities. I can see that for just designing any, you know, system. And I didn't even get into 3D shapes, actors, media plates, text actors. You know, text actors finally have fonts, believe it or not. It's a big change. I think it's one of the biggest change in Unreal since a long time. So if I just go to my text here, text avatar, you can see here I can mark a font as favorite, and I have access to all my Windows, you know, normal fonts. So if I need something, you know, fancy, I don't need to install the font, you know, add it into Unreal Engine and all that, right? And all of this text here, as you can see, is procedural, so you can kind of design it the way you'd like it, and then start going into here and extruding it, right? Doing a bevel. And you can change every color here, or you can take it from textures. And let's just do something simple. We'll add some kind of, we'll add a master material. You can just drag and drop it, and the cool thing here is that you can you have different slots for the bevel material, so you can do something completely different here on the bevel. And that's really cool because you can just customize your text. So we have a leather material here with this Unreal text. So that's just materials here. And once you have, because all of this is parametric, right? having this here as a text actor, you can start adding a effector actor. So I'll add an effector actor here. Just make sure it's around my text here. And now if I tell the effector to do something, so which is I drag it, wait, it doesn't need to be dragged in, right? Because I think I should be able to just define the object. Let's have a look here. Type sphere box unbound, all right. And mode target rotates clones towards target object or noise field. Let's do noise field, and we'll just move it by a few, just change some values, and just drop it into here. No, that's not the way to use effectors on text. I know that modifiers like here should work. So let's say animators, I mean. So if I want this to, let's say, oscillate in or bounce in location. Well, anyway, I hope you like to listen to my experiments, and I'm gonna have to digest all this. I got it to work before, but there's so much things going on here that I need to recreate them from scratch, essentially. That's why I like to create just from basic projects. Something that's, unique. And that way I learned, like, oh, I can make yes, and reloading a map does this. So that's, I felt it coming. That's why I wanted to end the tutorial. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Check out the new motion design plugin. Just make sure you have to enable it in the plugin section and have fun. I mean, I'm pretty sure these things will be ironed out once it gets out of early access. But right now, looking at it in early access, it's exciting because I can finally do animations that I always wanted to do, right? And that's really cool. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great one. And peace out. Bye-bye.